What's down, people, and welcome to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at, let's see. Man just got kicked out the garden, and God got it locked down so can't nobody get in. Ain't no more free food, we gotta work for it. And Eve about to run face first into them consequences that God was talking about earlier. Now I wanna pause for a second on that, because this is something I wondered about, so I know y'all wondering about it too. When God told Eve she was gonna have way more pain in childbirth, how much you think she understood that? Like, how much could somebody understand childbirth if they ain't never been through it? Hadn't nobody been through it for that matter. Like, you ever seen a parent tell a kid not to touch the stove because they gonna burn themselves, but the kid don't really learn their lesson until they screaming because for whatever reason they thought it was a good idea to play around with a 350-degree oven. Before you say anything, yes, black folks cook everything at 350. That's the right temperature. Argue with your mom. Anyway, that's just a random thought. But back to the point. So Eve busts out a couple kids for Adam. They grow up. One of them become a gardener, and the other one was a shepherd. So time passed, and one day Cain, the older brother, decided he gonna do something for God and bring him some of the fruit he grew. His little brother Abel decided he gonna bring God some of them fat pieces of sheep steak that he take care of. Which one you think got God attention? So now Cain running around drove because God wasn't feeling the fruit he brought him. And God was like, bruh, do the right thing and you'll be took care of. But if you don't deal with that attitude, it's gonna rise up and consume you. So after that, you imagine Cain apologized and was like, my bad, God, let me get you what you like. Nah, that ain't what happened. Cain convinced his brother to go out in the field with him, and he killed him. That's crazy, right? So later on, God rolled up on Cain like, fam, where your brother at? And I guess Cain was like, God, I was tripping. We was out in the field and I killed him. I'm sorry. Nah, that ain't what happened. This nigga, I can't say that. This dude gonna tell God how I'm supposed to know. What, I'm my brother's keeper or something? Like, bruh, you could almost hear the arrogance no matter how you translate it. And God was like, what, you think I'm playing with you or something? Listen, your brother's blood crying out from the ground for revenge. And then God started cursing again. He was like, because you spilled your brother's blood on the ground ain't gonna give you crops no more. And you would think the next thing Cain said would be something like, Lord, I'm sorry. Please don't do your boy like that. Nah, that ain't what happened. He was like, God, how I'm supposed to eat? I'm gonna be poor and raggedy out here, and anybody who see me gonna kill me. And God was like, no, they ain't. Anybody who touch you, I'm gonna take it out on them 7 times over. What that even means? I have no idea. And I'm sure I don't want to find out. Now I'm gonna pause right here, because if you read too fast, you'll miss something real important. You always hear people who talk about how they don't rock with God because they think he mean and spiteful and just be dumping wrath out on people. And don't get me wrong, when God done had enough, you'll do well to put some distance between you and whoever he coming for. But you gotta look at how God dealt with Cain in this instance, because it'll teach you a lot about his character. You may not notice it at first, but God gave Cain a few chances to apologize and ask for forgiveness. First, the fact that God told Cain to do the right thing mean that Cain must have knew it was the right thing to do. Next, he tried to warn him to get right before that jealousy got to him. Then, he gave him the chance to tell the truth when he asked him where his brother was. Then, he still could have apologized and asked for forgiveness after his punishment got issued out. In the whole chapter, Cain never apologized for nothing. The only thing he seemed to care about is the fact that he got punished. That was that man's brother, and he ain't never said nothing to make you believe that he was sorry. And even though God knew it all was gonna happen, he still gave Cain the chance to apologize, and he never did. God could have swacked Cain the minute he had that jealousy up in his heart, but he showed him mercy. A lot of folks like to present the Bible like God ain't start showing mercy until Jesus showed up. But if you pay attention, you will see he been doing that from the beginning. That's part of his character. That's who he is. In case y'all ain't realized it yet, this is not about us. It's about God. It's telling us who he is in detail. The more time you spend in it, the more you'll recognize who he is and how he operates, and you will have fewer and fewer questions about what it is he's trying to say to you. So anyway, back to Cain. The next thing it says is that he left the presence of God to go live his life, which is crazy when you think about it, because it means all of this stuff happened in the presence of God. Bruh, The audacity. And then he built a city, had some kids, and then they talk about his family tree. And then the chapter wrap up with talking about how the world start getting more and more corrupt. So next episode, we gonna talk about what's up with folks' names in the Bible. I promise it's more interesting than you think it is. Anyway, that's it for this one. And as always, peace, and I hope your people straight.